You're watching San Antonio's own KENS 5 News this morning.
Good morning. It is a weather impact alert day that sadly has turned deadly. I'm Audrika Soreno.
And I'm Barry Davis. Thanks for staying with us on KENS 5 Plus this morning.
The showers started early this morning. Take a look at this video. This is in our station's parking lot. The rain was coming down heavily this morning. You can see some flashes of lightning out there. A lot of people seeing that all morning long.
We also heard about a possible tornado overnight forming. This video was sent by another one of our staff members. He told us when that rotation got close, he saw some low clouds, telling us it almost looked like a tornado was trying to form.
And the severe weather brought some power outages. We want to go ahead and take a look at some of these current numbers right now. CPS Energy reporting over 300 outages, which is affecting over 23,000 customers across the city. Of course, we'll keep you updated on if any of these numbers change.
Yeah, and at one point, I mean, the rain was coming down so fast, Paul, that we had like 21 high water rescue and high water incidents across the city.
Yeah, you know, sometimes here in South Central Texas, sometimes it gets very serious as far as flooding, and it is one of those serious mornings. It's one of those mornings that you just don't want to mess around. Turn around, don't drown. All right, since we didn't mention it, last night at about 11:30 on radar, there was definitely a signature of a tornado close to Helotes. I don't know if one ever touched down, but it definitely was an impressive thunderstorm. And we've seen some impressive thunderstorms with some heavy rainfall. We've got a flood watch that is in effect from Kerrville to Hondo to San Antonio, Cuero, and then north and eastward from there. We have numerous warnings and flood advisories as well. So let's step through those one by one. For Leon Creek, we've got a flood warning. You know how Leon Creek can get. Watch out there. Also, for San Antonio River down into Atascosa County, we've got a flood warning on that. Okay, one warning just expired, northern Medina County. That was until 7 a.m. Of course, that's expired now. Western portions of Bexar County until 8:30. Eastern Bexar County until 9 o'clock this morning. So don't let down your guard. In some areas, the rain is not as heavy as it was before, but definitely we still have a lot of runoff. And if you see water that you don't know the depth of, just turn around. Don't go through it. We've already seen some people that have gotten in some real trouble this morning. All right, 11 a.m. for DeWitt County and southern portions of Lavaca County, flood warning. And I think the flood threat later this morning is going to transition to our southeastern counties. All right, here's what's happening. Earlier this morning, the heaviest rainfall was right in through this zone. Notice how now that zone has shifted down to the south. The heaviest thunderstorm right now is southeastern Medina County, southwestern Bexar County. This thunderstorm also has some gusty winds, 40 to 50 miles per hour, and is slowly moving down to the south and east. We've got additional thunderstorm activity now in Karnes County, all through DeWitt County, north of Victoria. Lots of thunder, lots of lightning, and we've got a new thunderstorm pretty close to Fredericksburg up there in Gillespie County. That's moving to the south and east. This atmosphere is pretty worked over, so I don't anticipate the storm getting stronger, but if it does, that is going to be a real issue for Bexar County later on down the road, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so lots of lightning, lots of thunder here, and again, the threat zone is going to transition a little bit later this morning after 9 a.m. to the southeastern counties. Already have flood warnings in effect. All right, so how much rain has fallen so far? Well, from the I-35 corridor between 410 and 1604, northwest part of the county into northeastern Medina County, just this morning alone, anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain. And you can see the accumulations really adding up now across the southwestern part of the county, all through Wilson County and down to the south into DeWitt and Karnes counties. Quite a bit of some rain totals this morning. All right, I showed you where the heaviest was this morning. Thankfully, the heavy rain that's happening now is out of that area, but we still have those flood warnings until 8:30 and 9 o'clock. All right, here's another way to look at it. This is where the heaviest rain has fallen, And where you see the rain moving, where you see those radar returns, that's where the heaviest rainfall is now, pretty much out of Bexar County, which is definitely some good news. At least this is not going to get worse. This is already a bad situation, but won't get worse. All right, over the last couple of days, we've seen anywhere from 6 to 8 and maybe even 9 inches of rain in the northwestern portions of Bexar County. Here's where the recharge zone is and also the contribution zone. We have seen some pretty good rainfall. The bullseye is not over that area, but I think the aquifer is going to benefit from rain we've seen over the last couple of days. Okay, so where do we go from now? Well, we've got life-threatening flooding occurring, but the HRRR, that's the model that I'm really using this morning. I think the other ones are kind of out to lunch. So the HRRR says that thunderstorm activity could continue all the way through 8 or 9 o'clock here in Bexar County, just not as heavy. The heavy rainfall will continue till about 11 or so, maybe even noon for some of our southeastern counties. High temperatures this afternoon, 89. And maybe a 20% chance of redevelopment, but this atmosphere is really worked over. All right, so here's where we go from here. Again, some scattered storms this morning, and then by noon, 82. Later on this afternoon, we'll have partly cloudy skies and your high temperature 89. It's going to be a steamy 89, by the way. All right, current temperature 70. Gonzales right around 70. Here's our setup. Stationary frontal boundary here, right? We've got a lot of outflow boundaries, and our main upper level system is right in here. And that's been really the main cause for the thunderstorm activity this morning. That is going to weaken, but we will have some disturbances over the Father's Day weekend. So I'm going to give it about a 20% chance of thunderstorms. We're going to transition. We're going to turn the page into heat index values over the next couple of days. It is going to be hot Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with heat index values up to around 104, 105 degrees. Okay, let's switch over to traffic. And before we do that, let's go to our KENS 5 weather tracker. Where were we at again here? 35.
So, yes, we were along Wurzbach Parkway actually when we last saw JJ. Yes, it looks like he's moved a little bit along the roadway here, might be heading back towards I-35. Looks like it's improving. He's still going very slow, but a little bit faster than when we last saw him about 10 minutes ago. Let's see if I can read that. Walsham Road. He's over in the Windcrest area. There we go. Very slow moving, folks. I-35 has been a trouble spot for our drivers this morning. Paul, I don't know if you can speak to this or if you have, but I feel like a lot of that rain impacted the city's northeast side because we have been tracking non-stop high water reports, but now they've really spread across the city. And I want to take you to a shot now on our TransGuide camera, kicking off our cameras now. 90 at Leon Creek. It looks like TransGuide, our friends at TransGuide, they're starting to explore the area a little bit, so they've moved the shot some, but I like that they did that because now we can see what's happening on the other side. So this is Leon Creek. I mean, it is now, but there used to be a frontage road on each side of the highway here. You can see the main lanes of the highway, Highway 90, not impacted to drivers right now, but beneath that is flooded. This is over by Wolf Stadium. Again, high water. This area is known to flood when we have a lot of heavy rain across San Antonio. And a little while ago, I did see a first responder on this side, possibly just blocking it off to drivers, telling them you can't take this route over here. We did see a car, what we believe to be a car, stuck in the water on the opposite side. Still monitoring that. We also have some flooding in the downtown area. They got soaked overnight. I-35 at San Pedro now on our TransGuide camera. You can only take the upper level, folks, right now because the lower level on our camera, it's flooded in both directions. I think about a week or two ago when we had that heavy rain come through, this area was also soaked and flooded. And we learned from TxDOT, I was really curious about why this happened, and they tell us that they do maintenance on these drains that help clear out this water. But sometimes when the weather comes in and so fast, debris gets stuck in those drains and clogs them up, and then it leads to this. The good news, though, unlike what we've seen in the past, is that it doesn't look like any cars are trapped in the water. Our Sue Calberg told us not too long ago that there are 2 cars near this area, but they are out of the water. They just can't get the vehicles out because this area is blocked off to drivers. So if you're heading in the downtown area, you cannot take the lower level right now. It is flooded, and I do expect this to take some time to get that debris cleared out and the water back to to a good condition to drive on. This is how it's impacting drivers above, I believe, yes, 35 at Alamo. This is what you're going to be dealing with if you're trying to travel through the downtown area. Really just stacked up traffic, and it looks like we are taking a live look around town. 37 and Jones Avenue. That spot is always congested on the left-hand side. Not too worried about that, but we still have slick roads in just about every part of town, folks. We saw a lot of rain overnight. My commute was pretty rough about 2:30 this morning, and that was several hours ago, but our drivers just really feeling the effects of these thunderstorms that came through in the early morning hours and still at 7 o'clock this morning. All right, let's take a look at our map. Yes, it is chaotic looking right now. We have a lot of red on our map. That's because we have high water reports going on. We also have several accidents working at this hour. And then, of course, it's 7 o'clock, so we do have that rush hour congestion working at this time. Again, the northeast side, I feel like really took the brunt of this weather because we're seeing a lot of flooding along I-35, especially in the areas of the exit ramp to 410, the exit ramp to Thousand Oaks between Weidner and O'Connor. Our reporter Earl Stoudemire at that scene, he tells us that the creek over there is flooded. The water is coming over the road there, and they have had water rescues as well as multiple cars stuck there. I believe we'll hear from him shortly. Our reporter Rania has been at this scene off of the highway, Perrin Vital in both directions between Austin Highway and Loop 410. We had high water rescues reported here earlier this morning. We just learned the unfortunate news that one person died. A total of 8 people were rescued here. It's really unfortunate that we lost someone. I don't know why I'm choking up over that, but it's a really unfortunate situation, folks. When we say turn around, don't drown, we really mean it here. Please listen to that advice. Before I let you go, did want to let you know about this accident on I-37 on our map. It's still working, but this is another scene that we've been following all morning long on the city's southwest side, I-35 at Palo Alto. This part of the highway is blocked off, I believe, so we still have flashers due to the way the camera is positioned. We can't really make out the scene, but it looks like traffic is being pushed off to the frontage road still. I'm going to follow this one as well as our other high water reports and bring you another update here soon.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Keep in mind that 35 I-10 area is going to be a big problem all morning long because the lower level is flooded. So if you need to head that way, just give yourself plenty of extra time before you do leave. And we did learn just a few minutes ago, unfortunately, a body has been recovered during that mass rescue over at the Briar Glen Trailhead area.
Yeah, that's where we find KENS 5's Rania Kaur, who joins us live from that area. Rania, we know that they rescued a few people earlier. You spoke to them. You did just speak to fire officials. What were they able to tell you?
Audrey, the call came in here at the Briar Glen Trailhead off of Perrin Vital at around 5:30 this morning. Fire officials were able to rescue 8 people. One of them, unfortunately, found dead. Now, when fire officials found them, they were actually on top of trees. They had gotten out of their cars and had climbed up to higher ground to escape the floodwaters. Right now, fire officials are still looking for 2 people who are unaccounted for. Earlier, I did speak to one of the people rescued who actually knew those 2 people. He said they were his loved ones. We still don't know the status of those 2 unaccounted for. We're still waiting for more information. And just a reminder once again from fire crews this morning, when you see high floodwaters, turn around, don't drown. It could be a lot higher than and deeper than you expect. That saying Briar Glen Trailhead, from what I'm told, is not usually like this. It's sort of turned into this raging river situation. Again, earlier we saw fire officials go down this river to try to find those 2 people still accounted for. Just now they were across the bank still looking for those 2 people. And unfortunately, they just pulled them back. And of course, we're going to be following this search throughout this morning. I'll bring you the latest right here on KENS 5+. Reporting live, I'm Rania Kaur, KENS 5.
Really unfortunate situation. Hopefully they can find those 2 other people who are missing.
Well, and keep in mind, too, that it only takes about 6-8 inches of water. And when it's moving fast the way it is this morning, you go drive through those low areas, you think that water is shallow. Again, in a small compact car, 6-8 inches of fast-moving water is going to pull that car right down the creek with you, and that's when you find yourself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you got to heed that warning for sure. But staying on the northeast side, like we've been mentioning, more than a dozen fire crews have been out doing water evacuations and rescue. At points this morning, that number was much higher.
Yeah, 21 at one point. One of the problem spots is off Thousand Oaks, Wetmore Road near Nacogdoches.
Yeah, that's where we find KENS 5's Earl Stoudemire, who's live out there. Earl, you also are dealing with the spot with really raging waters.
Audrey, Barry, good morning. We are now on Old O'Connor Road, and we just got some word from police that 3 people are stuck in this area because of the fast-moving waters. I'm going to have Sharavius, my photog, to zoom in, and you can see a white truck in the distance and 2 other trucks past this running stream. So since we've been here, it's been a gamble people have been taking, trying to get across the water, but they'll see that barricade at the end and they're having to turn back around. So if you're on this road, do not come here because you're making an unnecessary risk and putting yourself in danger. So the police officer, he just drove off. He said that fire crews are going to be coming here in a second to rescue them, but I've seen just a few people, even down the road now, I could see just people walking from their cars, just trying to get some help. But this has been a gamble. The water going into the Vital Creek, very fast moving. The water branches all clumped up, making a dam. So for anyone coming, again, please avoid this area. And whenever fire crews get here, we'll be sure to keep you guys posted. Reporting live on the northeast side, Earl Stoudemire, KENS 5.
Hey, real quick, Earl, before you go, I can see that water is moving from your left to the right. That truck, that box truck or that tractor trailer is on the upstream side of that water. Why is it there? Was it pulled from somewhere else to that spot?
Barry, you know, when we got here, we first noticed the 2 trucks on the side that you said is closer towards the creek, and over time in the last 15 minutes, we saw that truck over in the distance. But that water in that area is very deep. So whenever you turn your head looking over the corner, looking at the trees, that the truck is literally pretty sunken in the water. Like, smoke was coming out of it 15 minutes ago. So that just shows for people trying to come through here, the water is not a game, and do not come through here because you can get stuck. If that's an 18-wheeler, imagine if you're in a regular SUV or just a Toyota, a Nissan, a regular car. Definitely dangerous right now.
I mean, like you said, people are still out there waiting for first responders to rescue them. So serious situation.
All right, thank you, Earl. Now, we are getting a closer look at some of the rain and the flooding around town, too, and a lot of the hazards that are on the road. Take a look at some of this.
Yeah. So first up, we want to show you what people were dealing with as they were trying to get through this in the dark of night. A lot of traffic lights were down, blinking without power. And remember, if you come upon one of these, definitely use it as a 4-way stop and take caution.
Yeah, you can see elsewhere. This is just in the middle of the street. Water's curb deep trying to go down into that storm drain there. That's going to build up, slow down. It's real easy to hydroplane when you get into areas like this. So just be careful.
And here's a look at the rain pouring down in East San Antonio near I-35. This is one of those areas that we've been talking about, showing you all morning with all of that flooding. It just was coming down in sheets this morning.
You know, as we were coming in, and of course this was, 2 o'clock this morning, 2:30 this morning. It was raining so hard that I was on 281. I could barely do 45 mile an hour. The wipers just wouldn't keep up with the rain.
And Sarah showed us earlier, people were on the road with their emergency lights on, which is a really good thing to do. If you're worried and you got to slow down, let people know you're slowing down and driving really slow and cautiously.
That video right there is the area of Heath and Misty Moon. You can see the road literally turned to a river here. This is absolutely insane. The amount of rain and the fact that we've been so dry just compounds the problem. We got that rain a week ago, but still the ground dries up so fast. It soaks up all of this water. And then when all of that comes, it just runs off and causes the problems we're seeing now.
And like Paul said, it was very slow moving and it came down so quickly. So makes sense.
Yeah. Plus the rain, it's causing a lot of problems downtown. We have crews all across the city this morning.
At KENS 5, Sue Kalberg has more on the conditions from that lower level of I-35.
I am standing on the Lexington Bridge over I-35. You are looking at the north and southbound lanes of I-35. You'll see that there are two vehicles trapped by high water. They're not exactly inundated by high water, but there's high water behind them, high water in front of them. When I first pulled up here, I actually saw two drivers climb out of those vehicles, climb up onto the concrete barrier, and try to work their way to high and dry ground. This is the spot that always backs up. The drains are overwhelmed. Someone, when I first got here, told me that they saw 5 VIA buses backed out of this situation. So those buses are now on their way. I'm going to try to safely work my way over to the other side of the freeway so that you can see the conditions as they exist right now. The 35 lower level is closed down in both directions, as it usually is during times of high water. The other things you need to watch out for are obstructions in the roadways. There are lots of flashing signal lights all around town. There are lots of places on surface streets. They don't have barricades up yet, so while we continue to climb out of the nighttime hours, just be safe, everybody. Slow down, turn around, don't drown, and stay with us as our coverage continues. Sue Kalberg, downtown on the I-35 lower level.
All right, it is 7:19 right now.
Yeah, we still have a lot more to come, a lot more coverage on these weather conditions and what's happening across town. Be sure to stick with us, download our KENS 5 app on your phone or on your TV. It's always for free.
Watch KENS 5 News this morning on demand whenever you wake up, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
Please take precautions as you head outdoors.
The latest information and news that breaks overnight.
Another fire, this one on San Antonio's southwest side.
Stay ahead of the storm with Weather Impact Alert Days.
So today is a KENS 5 Weather Impact Alert Day because of the gusty winds.
Start your day on time with the team you trust. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. Live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
"So good!"
That is fantastic.
Catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem? Call KENS. They will solve the problem.
At the heart of KENS 5 News is our people. People who've earned the trust of our community through years of experience, community connection, and showing up when it matters most. The reporters and anchors at KENS 5 News are the most experienced team in town, consistently delivering the important news you need. They're the people you're familiar with, the people you trust. KENS 5 News, proud to be San Antonio's own.
Welcome back. It's 7:21. Welcome back to your Thursday, June 12th. It is an Impact Weather Alert Day.
Yeah, you're going to stay with us. We have had just an unbelievable amount of rain in a very relatively short period of time overnight.
Oh yeah, the shower started early this morning. This is some video of our station parking lot. The rain is just coming down and you could see lots of flashes of lightning. I'm sure it woke a lot of people up overnight.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it was rumbling about 2 o'clock this morning. We also heard about a possible tornado forming. No confirmation yet on this, though. This was video that was sent by another one of our staff members. He told us he could see the rotation. When it got really close to him, he saw some really low clouds, too. He said it almost looked like a tornado was trying to form. But again, we're not saying there was a tornado out there.
Yeah.
It was just really intense thunderstorms.
Yeah, that needs to still be confirmed for sure. And the severe weather brought some power outages. We want to go ahead and take a look at some current numbers. Right now, CPS Energy reporting over 300 outages. This really hasn't moved much, affecting 23,000 customers. That's really going to put, a hiccup in your morning routine. We'll, of course, keep you updated as these numbers change.
That's the beauty of downloading the KENS 5 app, KENS 5 Plus. We'll continue this coverage until we know that the threat, the danger is out of the area. Right now, I'm going to go to Paul, and most of this stuff, Paul, is kind of moved out of the immediate viewing area, but it's what's left over, what it's caused, that's creating the problem.
Oh yeah. We got in like the 2 o'clock hour. I was like, today is not going to be a good day, and we're going to have some flooding, and we definitely have seen some flooding. We have flood warnings that continue. All right, flash flood watch is in effect from Kerrville to Hondo to San Antonio to Cuero, and then north and eastward from there. We have numerous flood warnings, flood advisories in effect out there this morning, so let's step through it. First is Leon Creek. If you live in this area, you know how the creek can be, and just dramatic video out of the Trans Guide here. Leon Creek is really swollen. Also, we've got problems with the San Antonio River going into Atascosa County, so watch out there. All right, so we've got a flood warning for western portions of Bexar County. That's until 8:30 this morning. Eastern portions of the county until 9 o'clock this morning. And this whole threat, a little bit later on, is going to continue to transition to the south and east. We've got flood warnings in effect for DeWitt County and also for southern portions of Lavaca County until 11 o'clock. All right, the heaviest rainfall now is about to move out of Bexar County, northern Atascosa County. By the way, this thunderstorm has got some gusty winds with it, so watch out for that in northern portions of Atascosa County. Also here in Karnes County and DeWitt counties, we have got some heavy rainfall, lots of lightning, lots of thunder from Victoria north and east, lots of lightning, lots of thunder as well. So taking a closer view, you can see the winds gusting here, western portions of Atascosa County, northern portions of Atascosa County, just west of Pleasanton. Winds are about 40 miles an hour on the leading edge of that thunderstorm. Also around Karnes City, raining very heavily into Cuero, and that's why we've got the flood warning in effect until 11 o'clock. And it does look like some of this thunderstorm activity may not move very quickly. We're going to have a real big problem down there to the south and east. So far this morning, the heaviest rainfall was right along the I-35 corridor, where we had a lot of rescues here. Also between 410 and 1604, northwest Bexar County and the northeastern portions of Medina County. That's where the heaviest rainfall has occurred. But you'll notice we're starting to see a little bit of some yellow here into Cuero and also DeWitt County, Karnes County. I really think that's where the transition is going to be. So northern portions of Atascosa County, that's where the heaviest rain is right now. Also just east of Karnes City and all around Cuero, coming down in buckets right now. All right, over the last 6 hours, the heaviest rainfall, like I showed you earlier, was right in this zone. So thankfully, the heaviest rain has moved out of that zone, and that is good. So at least our situation won't get worse, but we do have the flood warnings in effect until 8:30 and 9. Looking at some heavy rain in northern Atascosa County. And also, now, I want you to see this. Into DeWitt County, we've had some heavy rain, and the heavy rain continues. So if this continues and this pattern continues, we're going to have some real issues there into DeWitt County. I'm going to keep my eyes on that. We've had anywhere from 6 to 8, maybe even 9 inches of rain over the last 2 days in the northwestern portions of Bexar County. Okay, so where do we go from here? Well, it looks like we're going to continue to have thunderstorm activity here in Bexar County till about 8 a.m. and then very heavy rain down to the south. High temperatures this afternoon will be around 89, maybe a 20% chance of thunderstorms. So steamy, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be hot. Right now, we're going to take a break for our national cut-in. Remember to keep watching our live team coverage on KENS 5 Plus. You can download that app for free and watch on your TV. We'll be right back.
Watch KENS 5 News this morning on demand whenever you wake up, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
Please take precautions as you head outdoors.
The latest information and news that breaks overnight.
Another fire, this one on San Antonio's southwest side.
Stay ahead of the storm with Weather Impact Alert Days.
So today is a KENS 5 Weather Impact Alert Day because of the gusty winds.
Start your day on time with the team you trust. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. Live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good! That is fantastic.
catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity.
Hey there, welcome back to KENS 5. We have been reporting on high water rescues all morning long, and this is one of them that I want to give you an update on the city's northeast side, Perrin-Bidle Road in both directions between Austin Highway and 410. We now have learned from our reporter at the scene that one person has died. 2 people are unaccounted for, and 8 people have been rescued. So folks, when we say turn around, don't drown in these situations, we truly mean it. We don't want to report on stuff like this, but of course, I wanted to give you a heads up. Elsewhere in San Antonio, other than the high water happening, we do have several accidents with delays. I-37 north at Pecan Valley Drive, we have a 15-minute delay tacked onto this. We also have a 35-minute delay over here on the city's north side, Loop 1604 at Stone Oak Parkway. Paul, only the far right lane is getting by at this time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, a lot going on with traffic, of course, with all of the heavy rain. Okay, we've got warnings. Flood warning continues for western portions of Bexar County till 8:30, eastern portions of Bexar County until 9 a.m., and new flood warnings till 11 a.m. for Cuero area, also for the Hallettsville area, and a new warning just coming out for Victoria. Today is a day that you don't want to mess around. Turn around. Don't drown.
Watch KENS 5 News this morning on demand whenever you wake up, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
Please take precautions as you head outdoors.
The latest information and news that breaks overnight.
Another fire, this one on San Antonio's southwest side.
Stay ahead of the storm with Weather Impact Alert Days.
So today is a KENS 5 Weather Impact Alert Day because of the gusty winds.
Start your day on time with the team you trust. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. Live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good! That is fantastic.
catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem? Call KENS. They will solve the problem.
At the heart of KENS 5 News is our people. People who've earned the trust of our community through years of experience, community connection, and showing up when it matters most. The reporters and anchors at KENS 5 News are the most experienced team in town, consistently delivering the important news you need. They're the people you're familiar with, the people you trust. KENS 5 News, proud to be San Antonio's own.
You're watching San Antonio's own KENS 5 News this morning.
Hey, welcome back to KENS 5 Plus. It's 7:31 right now. We are in the middle of a weather impact alert day for your Thursday, June 12th.
Yeah, thanks for joining us this morning. Unfortunately, boy, we woke up, we were awakened by all the thunder, the lightning, the heavy rains. It has continued throughout the morning.
Yeah, these showers started early this morning. This is a view from our parking lot. The rain was just coming down. You can see some flashes of lightning. Kept a lot of people up this morning.
Almost looked like a garden hose, didn't it? That was coming obviously out of one of our gutters up there. We also heard about a possible tornado forming. This is video from one of our colleagues here at work. He told us that, you know, there was so much rotation and everything. When it got close enough to him, he could see the clouds swirling and everything. He said it almost looked like a tornado was trying to form. We're not saying there was a tornado out there, just what it looked like to him.
And the severe weather brought some power outages. We want to go ahead and take a look at some of those current numbers. Right now, CPS Energy is reporting over 420 outages. This number just went up in the last 5 minutes with 25,000 customers in the dark this morning. Of course, we're going to keep you up to date on these numbers.
And that's the beauty of when you download the KENS 5 Plus app. You can watch this on your phone, whatever, until that electricity comes on. And throughout the night into the morning, fire crews have been really busy performing a lot of water rescues. Sadly, one of those rescues ended up being the recovery of 2 bodies. This happened at the Briar Glen Trailhead area.
Yeah, we learned that just that second body has just now been recovered. Rania Kaur joins us live from that scene. Rania, you just spoke to firefighters. What else have they been able to tell you?
Audrey, Barry, we know within the last 5 minutes, the Texas Game Warden just came here with a drone to help find the 2 people they're still looking for. Right next to me, I have San Antonio Police Sergeant Juarez. And Sergeant, what were you going to tell me?
Just before 5 a.m. this morning, we had a call at Perrin Bottle and 410 for several vehicles that were washed away in the high water rescue. According to witnesses, 5 to 6 vehicles were washed away so far, and multiple people in all those vehicles. So far, we've recovered 1 body on the other side of Perrin Bottle and 410, and on this side of here off of Briar Glen and Perrin Bottle, they've recovered 1 more body. There's 2 that are still unaccounted for, at least 2. The high water rescue people for the fire department, they rescued, they plucked 8 people out of trees here along the way, and they're nice and safe now. But so far, 2 fatalities, several more unaccounted for, and they're still out here. Texas, the game wardens just showed up with their drone. They're going to see if they can't locate the other unaccounted for people.
At this point, do we know where they are? We've seen the fire crews go down the river. We've seen them across the bank. Any idea where they could be?
No idea right now. Although 5 to 6 vehicles were washed away, they have not found any trace of any of the vehicles. But all the people that were rescued, they started off in the vehicles, and they were eventually made it out safely, and they were able to latch on to trees until they were rescued.
Could you tell me the relationship of the people that were rescued, that were found dead? Were they connected to any of the other 8 rescues?
They could be. We don't know yet. We have 1 male recovered on the other side. We have a female on this side. We don't have any identification on any of them so far.
And the other 2 that are accounted for, could you by chance tell me, are they related to any of those that are rescued?
That we don't know. We don't think so, because nobody stuck around and gave any information. So no, we don't think they're related. I think they all came from multiple vehicles.
How did you guys find out that there were 2 still left unaccounted for?
Some of the passengers in some of the vehicles, when they were rescued and pulled to safety, there was several people that were not in their party that they started off with.
So what's next at this point beyond the drone?
At this point, hopefully the fire department's able to coordinate with the drones and find some more, or maybe they'll wash up someplace safely. But right now, it's a rescue operation.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Juarez. And of course, we'll bring you the latest updates right here on KENS 5 and of course on our website, KENS5.com. Just stay with us. Paul?
All right, thank you, Rania. That's just tragic out there. You know, when I got up this morning, actually I didn't sleep very well, but when I was coming into work, I just knew that this was not going to work out very well today because of that rainfall. It just wasn't moving fast enough, and we've seen some heavy rain training over the same area. So today is a KENS 5 weather impact alert day, heavy downpours. Stay aware. And that threat area is transitioning down to the southeastern counties. All right, we've got a flood watch from Kerrville to Hondo to San Antonio to Cuero and north and eastward from there, really kind of Karn City to Goliad northeastward from there. We've got numerous flood warnings and also advisories, so let's just step through these. All right, we've got Leon Creek. We've got flood warning in effect. Dramatic video out of the Trans Guide here out of Leon Creek. You know, if you live around here, you know how this creek can get. Also, San Antonio River going into Atascosa County. We've got flood warnings on that. Also back into the Medina River, back into eastern portions of Medina County, we've got flood warnings. All right, western Bexar County till 8:30, flood warnings in effect. eastern Bexar County until 9 a.m. and we've got flood warnings in effect until 11 o'clock for DeWitt counties and also for Lavaca County. And a new warning has been issued for Victoria County until 10:30 this morning. All right, the heaviest rainfall was right in through this area, and Rania was right here. Thankfully, the heaviest rain has transitioned and moved down to the south, coming down in buckets right now in Atascosa County. Very heavy rainfall here from Karnes County into Cuero and into Victoria. Now, if you notice, this is a loop over the last hour. Notice how this rain is just not moving. I mean, the individual cells are moving from west to east, but the line is not moving. And so this is going to be a real issue in here. If you're watching from, let's say, eastern Karnes County, all through DeWitt County and Victoria County, if this continues, which I think it probably will, we're going to have some real issues down to the south and east. Taking a closer look, we've got some pretty good wind gusts out of these thunderstorms in Atascosa County. And then Karnes City, it's raining very heavily, lightning and thunder, also around Cuero as well. And we're seeing some really heavy rainfall totals there. All right, over the last 6 hours, the heaviest rainfall totals have been right where Rania was, here on the northeast side, between 410 and 1604 on the northwest side, and also northeastern Medina County. And now we've got some pretty good totals there in northern Atascosa and the southwestern portions of Bexar County as well. And now we're seeing quite a bit of rainfall down around Karnes County and also DeWitt counties. So where is it raining the heaviest right now? Right around Karnes City, east of Karnes City, western portions of DeWitt County, northern Victoria County. We're seeing 2 to 3 inch rainfall rates per hour, so really coming down in buckets. And again, this is a real troubling situation here where you don't see north to south movement and just the same thunderstorms or different thunderstorms training over the same areas. That's a bad sign there. Okay, so here's the good news. We've got some flood warnings, but the good news is at least we're not aggravating the situation. We don't have new heavy rainfall where the old heavy rainfall was. The heaviest rain is moving now into Atascosa County. That's better news for Bexar County, but we still have warnings until 9 o'clock. Now, down in Cuero, it's a different situation here. We've seen quite a bit of rain over the last 6 hours, and now we're seeing more. So we're going to have a real problem here in DeWitt County if that doesn't change, and I'm not anticipating that to change. All right, over the last 48 hours, we've seen anywhere from 6 to maybe even 9 inches of rain from northwestern Bexar County into northeastern Medina County. Just some real big rainfall totals. Also pretty good rainfall totals on the southwest side of town. All right, so where do we go from here? Well, we've got these flooding rains happening. I'm using the HRRR. It's the only model right now that I really trust. And I think until about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we're going to have a threat for at least some thunderstorm action in Bexar County. But I think the transition is going to be down to the south. Between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., this is probably going to get worse before it gets better. And then eventually it all moves out of the way. High temperatures this afternoon in the upper 80s, around 89. There's a 20% chance we could see some redevelopment. I'm just not expecting that at all. So out there right now, we've got mostly cloudy skies. And as we head through the day, we'll start to see more partly cloudy skies. It's going to be a very warm afternoon. High temperatures right around 89 degrees with that 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Okay, I think we're going to transition over to traffic. Let's see what's happening. We'll go to the weather tracker first. All right, let's see what's happening out there on those roads. Woo! This is starting to stack up, Sarah. Where are we at and what's going on?
Yeah, I feel like we have been seeing this shot over and over and over again, Paul. JJ really hitting a lot of slow spots for us this morning. He's been traveling a lot along 35, and I believe that is where he is still at, heading southbound into San Antonio. I've been busy monitoring the floods around San Antonio, so I haven't had time to reach back out to him. But again, he's been traveling along I-35, and as we've been telling you folks all morning long, the city's northeast side has been a real trouble spot with all these storms that have come through the northeast side and downtown in particular. Those two spots I feel like I've talked to you guys a lot about this morning. JJ, in our live weather tracker, thank you so much. I want to take it to our TransGuide cameras now so I can show you a live look around town, see what's happening outside in San Antonio now that we're reaching 741. You can see that the road roads are starting to dry up, which is good. They were soaked earlier this morning when that rain was coming through. I was driving on the road about 2:30 this morning and I was getting slammed with rain. It was a very rough commute. It was very similar to yesterday when we had those storms come through. And so I had to take it slow. I had to decrease my speed, increase my windshield wiper speed, all the things to make it safe to work, and thank God I did. But again, here is a live look around town. A major improvement for our drivers this morning if you're heading to work or summer camp. That is still a lot of wet spots though. I-10 at the Y, this is near the Fine Silver Curve approaching the downtown area. That area has been blocked off, the lower level specifically due to some high water reported on the road, a vulnerable spot. 1604 at Babcock looking good. 1604 at Hausman Road also looking good. You can see some reflective spots. We still got water on the road over there. 10 at New Braunfels, the same deal. It looks like we have a little bit of a situation over there. 10 at UTSA Boulevard also running smoothly. If you're driving eastbound into San Antonio, it looks like we have a little bit more activity than if you're heading westbound outside of San Antonio. Major backups though along Alamo 35. That's because we have that lower level blocked off due to some high water further up the road, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But first, I wanted to talk about the accidents happening around San Antonio, and you can see that on our map now. I've really focused a lot in on the flooding that we've seen all morning long, but I haven't had a chance to really talk to you guys about the accidents we've been seeing. This weather, the slick roads has caused a lot of our drivers to lose control on our major highways, and it's causing a lot of slowdowns, especially during the 7 o'clock hour. You can see along 1604, we got speeds of 25 miles per hour at Bitters Road, along 35 on the east side, 24 miles at Wurzbach Parkway. JJ was there a little while ago, very slow in that direction. 37, 13 miles per hour once you hit Military Drive. Let's talk about the accident that's impacting drivers on the southeast side, I-37 north at Pecan Valley Drive. This is still a 15-minute delay, folks. Details are limited. I'm working to see if I can collect any of them to share with you, but the left lane is blocked. We do know that, and as you can see on our map, we do have a little pile of red heading into San Antonio. So if this is part of your commute over on the southeast side, I-37 north at Pecan Valley Drive, you got a 15-minute delay due to this accident. An even greater delay on the city's north side, 35-minute delay that is, at Loop 1604 East between Stone Oak Parkway and 281. You can see on our map at the bottom of your screen, we have a little bit of a mixture of color, red, orange, yellow. This accident really slowing our folks down in the eastbound lanes. Only the far right lane is open. So if you're driving eastbound on Loop 1604 in the city's north side, you can only get by using the far right lane. So a 35-minute delay there, a 15-minute delay there. You're going to be slowed down quite a bit this morning. All right, let's talk about that high water that's been impacting our drivers all morning long. Again, noticing a trend in the downtown area as well as on the city's northeast side. I also wanted to mention it's not only impacting our major roadways, but it's also impacting our frontage roads and our side roads. This is a great example of what we are seeing, folks. Just an incredible visual here on the city's west side, 90 at Leon Creek. The highway is not impacted, but you see that water on the side, both sides of your screen there? Yeah, that used to be a roadway. It's no longer. It's part of Leon Creek now. And this is just a trouble spot, folks. If you're from San Antonio, you know that this happens when we see rain come through the area. If you're not familiar, welcome. This is what you have to deal with if you're on the city's west side. Really quick before we take it to our other TransGuide shot, I want to run you through what I'm seeing on bearflood.org. This is a public website. You can access this on your own. We are seeing 36 road closures right now, weather-related closures across San Antonio. I wish I could pop that up on my screen, but I can describe to you what I'm looking at. Most of those road closures are going to be north of downtown. They're impacting roads like Alamo Heights, Danville. We got Baxtershire at Calabar Creek, Encino Park, Hewerman, Lock Hill, Lookout Road. I think I even sold Old Grissom. If you've ever driven through Old Grissom, it really dips in the road right there. I remember as a kid, that area was always blocked due to the floods. But again, 90 at Leon Creek, it looks like on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see a first responder there, possibly blocking off the roads, making sure that drivers don't do anything that they shouldn't do. Again, folks, turn around, don't drown. If you see that water on the roadway, please be careful. Let's go back to our map really quick. I had a few additional areas I wanted to talk about, especially that spot where our reporter Ronnie is at. Just a very tragic situation off of the highway. Perrin Beidel Road in both directions blocked off between Austin Highway and Ford's Head. This is why we say turn around, don't drown, folks, because we don't want to report on these things, but sometimes they just happen. So we just learned from the police sergeant there at the scene that 2 people are now dead after being stuck in those flood waters. 2 people are still unaccounted for. And he did mention that 8 people were rescued. And the interview, the part of the interview that really caught my attention is when he said they had to pluck people from trees. They had to pluck 8 of those people from the trees to be rescued. It's just an incredible visual when you think about it. Those people just trying to save their lives after getting their cars stuck in the water. They were able to climb up in those trees and wait for first responders. Just a very tragic scene out there. Of course, we'll have Rania back here soon to give us more details. Again, one last look. We have multiple accidents working across town. Want to take you outside to one last live shot before I let you go. 35 at San Pedro, blocked off in both directions due to water.
All right, thanks so much, Sarah. You know, the northeast side took a lot of that weather this morning, and that side of town has had major problems with a lot of water rescues. At one point, there were over 20 in that area. That number kind of has gone down this morning.
Yeah, one of the problems continues to be on Lookout Road and O'Connor Road. We want to bring in Earl Stoudemire. He's live at the scene there, and we can see vehicles behind you there, Earl, stuck in the water.
Audrey, Barry, for me being here at O'Connor Road and Lookout, there are trucks and cars right behind me stuck in the water, and officers on scene tell me that 3 people need to be rescued, and there's actually someone outside right beside this black truck. He's standing outside. We've been here for about an hour and we're still waiting for fire crews to get out here and try and rescue them, but the police, whenever they got here, they said that the people, they were on top of the FedEx truck. That is a FedEx truck right there. The looks can be deceiving with this stream going into Beidel Creek, but that is a FedEx truck stuck in the water. So now that police are here on Lookout Road and Old O'Connor, blocking people from coming in. Earlier, people have been making the gamble to just still try and drive through. There are barricades. Police are here now. If you see them, you're going to be asked to turn back around until first responders come get these people from their trucks and just get them to a more safe area. Thankfully, nothing fatal or nothing deadly happening, but it's still, you know, as we've been talking about this entire morning, turn around, don't drown, don't be stranded, don't put yourself in these situations. First responders are everywhere across town trying to help everyone be safe. So, you know, with the water moving fast in this area, please be mindful when you're out on the roads, and we'll be here giving you the latest on when fire crews get here to rescue these people. Reporting live, Earl Stoudemire, KENS 5.
It's good to see those people out walking kind of near in a safe space. Glad they are okay, but hopefully that person in that box truck is okay. We haven't seen anyone come out of there.
No, we haven't seen anybody move there. Thank you, Earl. You know, the one thing we haven't talked about, too, is Sarah was covering all the roads, the low spots, the problems here. As that storm came through, you know, it started from the northwest and then moved through and then kind of started to move farther south. It's taken a lot of that rain down there now, too. But all of the rain we're getting here obviously is going to flow down south of here as well. So if you're out somewhere in the outlying areas, too, and you know you have those low water crossings, they're everywhere out in the south of here, particularly on gravel roads, whatever. Don't try to get over those low water crossings there either, because you're going to run into all the problem from the rain you're getting there and the rainwater that's going to move here farther south.
Oh yeah, Floresville, Pleasanton, you know, Cuero, they're starting to get all that rain right now. So can only imagine the situations that are hitting those viewers right now.
All right, we're going to give you a little closer look at some of the rain and flooding around town that we had earlier, making just a huge problem for everybody.
Yeah, as you can see, a lot of traffic lights went down this morning, blinking with the power outages. Remember, if you do ever come up to one of these, treat it as a four-way stop. Definitely use caution in those areas.
Yeah, the number of power outages right now, just through the roof. This is the middle of the street when all of this was happening. This video was shot probably about 3:30 or so this morning. You can't really tell, but as that water is rushing down into that storm drain, that's probably a good, 3 inches deep or so there in the middle of the street. So don't go through it.
No, and here's a look at rain just pouring down in East San Antonio near I-35. This was a situation overnight for much of the city, especially the northeast side, just coming down in sheets. We had a lot of thunder. There was also a tornado warning overnight. A lot of people got on their phone, woke them up around 11 midnight. So it's definitely been an active morning for the skies.
I want to show you some video too from the Heath and Misty Moon areas here. The road, literally, look at that. It almost looks like, whitewater rapid, but it's brown water, obviously. I can't even tell what.
That's a trash bin.
Yeah.
On its side.
That's the thing. That water starts to move and you're not going to be able to get through it. Sadly, we see that over there in the Glen Briar area now. What was a high water rescue mission now turning into a search for 2 people. They've found 2 bodies already and they're still looking for 2 people who disappeared. They don't know where they are.
Yeah, 8 people in total were rescued from trees in that area. So definitely an active scene there. I know firefighters told our Rania Corps at the scene they were going to disperse some drones to try and look for those 2 other people who are still missing at this hour.
And plus the rain obviously caused some big problems downtown. And as you saw, we have crews all over trying to cover everything as much as we can.
Yeah, earlier this morning, KENS 5 Sue Kalberg was out monitoring some of those conditions. She was out at the lower level of I-35, which is a huge problem spot, and she filed this report.
I am standing on the Lexington Bridge over I-35. You are looking at the north and southbound lanes of I-35. You'll see that there are 2 vehicles trapped by high water. They're not exactly inundated by high water, but there's high water behind them, high water in front of them. When I first pulled up here, I actually saw 2 drivers climb out of those vehicles, climb up onto the concrete barrier and try to work their way to high and dry ground. This is the spot that always backs up. The drains are overwhelmed. Someone, when I first got here, told me that they saw 5 via buses backed out of this situation. So those buses are now on their way. I'm going to try to safely work my way over to the other side of the freeway so that you can see the conditions as they exist right now. The 35 lower level is closed down in both directions, as it usually is during times of high water. The other things you need to watch out for are obstructions in the roadways. There are lots of flashing signal lights all around town. There are lots of places on surface streets. They don't have barricades up yet, so while we continue to climb out of the nighttime hours, just be safe, everybody. Slow down, turn around, don't drown, and stay with us as our coverage continues. Sue Kalberg, downtown on the I-35 lower level.
Scary situations there at 7:54. Right now you're watching KENS 5 Plus. Lots of power outages right now at this hour. Hopefully you've downloaded the KENS 5 app. You downloaded it on your TV for when those situations happen. We can keep you up to date all morning long.
Well, that's the beauty of it too. We have thousands of people, some 24,000-ish people without power. But hey, you're getting your coverage right here on KENS 5 Plus. Stay with us. We have a lot more still to come.
Watch KENS 5 News this morning on demand whenever you wake up, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
Please take precautions as you head outdoors.
The latest information and news that breaks overnight.
Another fire, this one on San Antonio's southwest side.
Stay ahead of the storm with Weather Impact Alert Days.
So today is a KENS 5 Weather Impact Alert Day because of the gusty winds.
Start your day on time with the team you trust. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. Live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good! That is fantastic.
catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage live or on demand right here on KENS 5 Plus.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem? Call KENS. They will solve the problem.
At the heart of KENS 5 News is our people. People who've earned the trust of our community through years of experience, community connection, and showing up when it matters most. The reporters and anchors at KENS 5 News are the most experienced team in town, consistently delivering the important news you need. They're the people you're familiar with, the people you trust. KENS 5 News, proud to be San Antonio's own.
Watch KENS 5 News this morning on demand whenever you wake up, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
Please take precautions as you head outdoors.
The latest information and news that breaks overnight.
Another fire, this one on San Antonio's southwest side.
Stay ahead of the storm with Weather Impact Alert Days.
So today is a KENS 5 Weather Impact Alert Day because of the gusty wind.
Hey there, welcome back to KENS 5. The time is now 7:57. We are still tracking a lot of high water reports across Bexar County. I wanted to show you this one because it is quite a visual on our TransGuide camera. 90 at Leon Creek on the city's west side. The main lanes of the highway not impacted, but the frontage road is. You can even see something is floating by in the water over there. This is going to be off of the highway. Again, the frontage road impacted on both sides. You can't even make out the road anymore. On the right-hand side of your screen, you can see a police officer standing there blocking it off to drivers. A portion of I-35 is blocked off in the downtown area due to some water on the road. Can we flip to that shot? If we can't, just know that the area of San Pedro and Main is blocked off. Paul, I'll toss it to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sarah. I was trying to figure out what that was floating by there. You can just see it. Real dramatic video there. Okay. We've got a flood warning that's in effect for western Bexar County until 8:30 this morning. For the eastern portions of Bexar County until 9 a.m. We also have flood warnings in effect until 11 o'clock for DeWitt counties and Lavaca counties and until 10:30 for northern Goliad and also northern Victoria counties. It's one of those mornings that you don't want to mess around. Turn around, don't drown. We'll have more news coming up in just a few minutes.
Watch KENS 5 News this morning on demand whenever you wake up, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
Please take precautions as you head outdoors.
The latest information and news that breaks overnight.
Another fire, this one on San Antonio's southwest side.
Stay ahead of the storm with Weather Impact Alert Days.
So today is a KENS 5 Weather Impact Alert Day because of the gusty winds.
Start your day on time with the team you trust. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. Live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good! That is fantastic.
catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem? Call KENS. They will solve the problem.
At the heart of KENS 5 News is our people. People who've earned the trust of our community through years of experience, community connection, and showing up when it matters most. The reporters and anchors at KENS 5 News are the most experienced team in town, consistently delivering the important news you need. They're the people you're familiar with, the people you trust. KENS 5 News, proud to be San Antonio's own.
watching San Antonio's own KENS 5 News this morning.
Right up at 8 a.m., it's a weather impact alert day. Thanks for joining us this Thursday, June 12th. I'm Audrey Casoreno.
And I'm Barry Davis. Thanks for joining KENS 5 Plus this morning. Man, we had just an unbelievable storm overnight.
Oh yeah, take a look at some of these showers and lightning and thunder this morning. This is video from our own backyard, our station parking lot. The rain is just coming down in buckets there.
Yeah, it looks like a water hose, doesn't it? From that downspout from the gutters. Also heard about a possible tornado forming. Paul, we were just talking during the break here that there was a lot of rotation. He said it was very impressive.
Oh, yeah, Barry. I was up at 11:30.
Right.
And looking at the radar, and that was an impressive thunderstorm. I'm not sure if a tornado did touch down, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. It was short-lived, but very impressive on radar.
Well, we'll get confirmation from that, too, from the National Weather Service later on, right? If there was even a hint of one. And they had that issue out in Uvalde yesterday or late yesterday that a possible tornado touching down there as well.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I woke up to that warning on my phone, got the girls, got into a safe space, Paul, because you can't not take that seriously. And with the severe weather, we brought some power outages, quite a few in fact. We want to go ahead and take a look at these current numbers. CPS Energy is reporting over 450 outages, which is affecting over 27,000 customers. Of course, we'll keep you updated on these numbers, but hopefully you downloaded the KENS 5 app on your phone. If you don't have power right now, you can always keep up to date with that. KENS 5 Plus app also, you can always keep up to date.
You know, and that number has continued to just steadily, kind of rise. Every time we come in to do this, there's another 1,000 here, 500 here, 1,000 more here. Those numbers just keep going up as this continues.
Yeah, despite the rain moving out of this area, Paul, those numbers still going up.
It must be one of those things kind of like dominoes. You have like water that's knocked this pole down and then it leads to this problem and leads to that problem. 27,000. That's a lot of folks.
And Paul, too, the thing is we live in what they call flash flood alley. You know, I mean, Bexar, Guadalupe, DeWitt, Calhoun, Goliad, Victoria counties. All just, we have this beautiful hill country just to the north of us. But the problem is when we get rains like this, it's got nowhere to go. We got shallow soil here. It can't soak in far.
Yeah, and that is the real problem. And this is definitely flash flood alley. And these kind of floods, they'll happen. And, usually you have these floods that come on the tail of drought. And